This is the brand new Zeelander 8. This is a boat I have been so excited about seeing. It is absolutely magnificent. It's the largest of the Zeelander range. It's 80 feet long. This is the very first one being displayed down here at Monaco. And it's a really exciting boat to have a look at. Now, it's really important to mention that, you can buy yourself a Ford Mustang and have a fast car, or you can buy a Bugatti Veyron. This is at the Bugatti Veyron end of the scale. So you're not buying this because it's value for money, you're buying this because it's fast, it's beautiful, and it's exquisitely built. This whole beach club area here is a rollover section, so that will swivel right the way through, and you then get the wraparound look all the way across the back of the boat. Looks like a Porsche Speedster. It's absolutely glorious. Look at these exhausts down here as well. But with it deployed as we've got now, we've got the walkway down into the water, we've got the sunbed here, we can have it as seating, and the passerelle, of course, extends out of here as well. We'll step on board. This is a metallic paint finish here. So this is actually Porsche Rhodium Silver, and then it's diamond white pearlescent across the superstructure. That is all owner choice. You pick whatever you want for that and they'll do it. And talking of owner choice, pretty much everything on this main deck forward is owner choice. So it's a blank canvas when you spec the boat initially. This owner has chosen this setup, but if you wanted sunbeds back here, for example, if you wanted to reconfigure the saloon, all of that is completely up for grabs. These are a lot of customization available. On this one, the table is a drop table, so you can put sunbed cushions on here, make that into a big sunbathing area. We've got the awning that rolls out from the trailing edge of the hardtop there as well. Of course, that retracts electrically. Engine access is down here. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at crew cabins. We're going to take a look at absolutely everything on here. We have the boat to ourselves at the moment. But we'll head on in, first of all, past the bar where the Greg's just sat. Hello, Greg.
Hi.
And even here, it's worth mentioning that this finish, which looks like wood, is actually a composite finish and then hand painted with this wood grain. It looks absolutely stunning, and it's everywhere on all of the outside surfaces that look like wood. And the point of doing that is to make that pretty much maintenance free. And you can see even here, this is actually stainless steel, but it has that hand painted finish. It's properly no expense spared on here. This is a drop window. This whole thing will retract or will rise back up, and of course the door then closes across to meet it. So if you want to enclose the interior, you can do, or you can open it right up as we have it today. There's a docking station back here, as you probably noticed, and then if I release this one here, this one's got glasses down underneath. But again, if you choose, you could have perhaps a grill there. You can have whatever you want. If it'll fit, they'll do it. And then again on the inside, very much owner spec, completely customizable. So whatever you want to have, you can have. This owner has chosen to go for this little nook at the back here. There's a TV that rises out of here. There's even underneath the floor. This is pretty cool. Quite literally a wine cellar. Fantastic is that. And then we also have, just behind me, the galley area. That's right down this side of the boat. So here we've got things like freezer compartment, bin in there, which is actually accessed from that little chap at the top. We have a dishwasher singing us the song of its people, and then refrigeration, cooking, the hob, of course, the wine cooler down there. But again, spec that how you want, color it how you want, finish it how you want. You want carpets in here instead, or teak and holly flooring, whatever you like, they'll do it for you. Here we've got the dinette area in the center. Lovely spot for dining, that is. And look at this beautiful Bentley style stitching on here. And then there's a massive sliding roof section. Check this out. So this will close at the touch of the button. And one of the things to mention on this, and it's one of the things that doesn't come across on the video at all, is the fact that this is super, super quiet. They absolutely engineer these to be as quiet as possible. It's probably about the quietest boat you're ever going to find running at high speed. And that again takes us back to what I said when we came on. It's hard to see these things sometimes on videos, but this is absolutely an engineered, high quality, high specification boat. It's expensive, and unashamedly so, because it ought to be. Helm position is here. Wheel covered up at the minute, but nice and straight, I'm glad to see. Engine controls, IPS docking control. We'll talk about engines. There are plenty of those, trust me. And then we've got the multifunction Garmin screens across here and then buttons down here for lighting and all that kind of stuff is across there. That up-down partition, I think I'm right in saying, is for this one here, so you can close the helm off to some degree should you want to. But look at the curves. We'll see this more on the outside. All these double curved windows, so they curve that way, but they also curve that way. But even the headlining has gentle curves to it. Curves is what these guys are all about, definitely. If we head on down to the lower deck then, I'll take you forward first of all. We've got a crew area up in the bow. Now again, this is owner specification. Boat number 2, I'm told, is having this fitted out completely to guest cabin standard, because it is going to be a guest area. They're not going to have a crew on the boat. This one does have a crew, so what we have down here, and bear in mind this is an 80-foot sports cruiser style boat, but nonetheless we've got 2 decent cabins. There's a captain's cabin here with the ensuite, and then on the other side we've got the bunk cabins over here. And then the ensuite in there. Normally on an 80-foot boat you'll get the bunk cabins and an ensuite, and that's about it. To have the 2 separate cabins is quite unusual at this size. And then further forward is a mess area. Now the ladder is extended at the minute. What this is doing is giving another way in and out of this space from the foredeck. We'll see that when we go around the outside, but normally you'd have this folded away, that retracted, and of course that gives you access to the mess area, little cooking station up here, fridge up here, sink is up here as well. As I say, got to bear in mind we're an 80-foot boat here. That is very, very good at 80 feet. And laundry facilities here as well, because they are in behind here. That's the washer, and then there's a dryer on this side, like so. Now all this down here, this is Macassar wood, so this is the real deal. Obviously you don't have the same maintenance issues on the inside of the boat, so all of this stuff is Macassar wood. Day heads is inside this one, and then we'll drop back a bit further. We have guest cabins back here, doubles, again owner spec. Love these hull windows. Not getting the full impression of that today, of course, because we are at a boat show alongside other boats, but you get the idea. And then of course this is ensuite, so that's back here like this with a separate shower. Very, very nice. And in behind the door then you've got your wardrobes and shelving and all that kind of stuff is all tucked away in behind there. AV equipment as well, of course. It's in behind here. And then if we cross the corridor, we will find a similar deal on this side. But again, beautifully finished. I love all this around here. It's so nicely and subtly done. But again, if you don't like that, have something else. I'll build these how you want. Again, wardrobe in behind the door, and again the ensuite tucked away in here. Absolutely lovely, isn't it? If we head back a bit further, we will find the owner's cabin. That, of course, is stretching right across the boat, and it is huge. Look at that. Beautiful. Love these finishes. This sort of soft touch material finish here, and then this harder but lighter finish around. It just works so very, very well. It's so nice. This is wardrobe in here and shelving. We've got the drawers, of course, either side of the dressing table, and then this is all nicely fitted out for your jewellery, and your Rolex and all that kind of stuff can live in there, and more storage in here. Oh, lastly, that, I'm going to say, is a classy job. Brilliant. Let's wander over here. We've got the ensuite, so this part is open. Having said that, there are doors that slide out, pocket doors that come out of here and out of here. So if you want to close it off, you can do, but you do of course have the privacy doors then for the toilet. It's also exquisite, isn't it? And the shower. It's a massive rainfall shower in here, but again, look at the finishes. It is a genuinely beautiful, exquisite, subtle, high quality boat. Drawers under the bed as well, lots of storage about the place, but yeah, that is a nice place to be. That's the interior. We're going to take a wander around the outside, and I'm going to show you the engine space. I'm going to show you the tender garage as well. That's worth seeing. Obviously this crew area, they've got a door there to close all that off for privacy as well. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Want to see what's in here since we're passing it? Okay, so you've got your Dyson in there, for example. It's housekeeping stuff basically, isn't it? Lovely, 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 lovely. I love this boat. I really do. What's interesting is we're here at the Monaco Yacht Show. It's all just massive super yachts, and this one sits like a jewel amongst them. It's not the biggest, but it is one of the best. Let's take a wander around the outside. As I say, if this layout isn't your choice, it really isn't a problem, because they'll do whatever you like. If we come down here, engine access is under here. We will take a look at that. There's side doors on both sides. Look at these fabulous hinges on here. And then again, this is all hand painted composite material, and look at these beautiful rails. They're like jewellery with a little Zeelander logo on the end, the way they're oval, the way they're capped, and the way that they curve. Everything on here curves. You can see it in the coach roof here, you can see it in the windows. This is what you're paying for. You know, flat panes of glass are a lot cheaper than the kind of stuff that's on here, but they don't look like this looks. This rail along here as well, again, it's all oval, it's all beautiful. And that painted wood style finish, it's down along here as well. You can see it up in places like this. You can even see it, I don't know how well we can see it from here, but up on the top you've got the FLIR camera, you've got the antenna, you've got the satellite dome, and the satellite dome is also done in that wood painted finish. Up here then, you've got the bimini. Of course that is taken off when you're underway, but that's shading this area. This is interesting. This is for deck gear, and it is right across here. Check this out. Look at this. That goes all the way across. So you could use that for paddle boards and that kind of stuff if you wanted to, but it's a really useful deck space that's accessed from either side. Let's close that one back down. Like so, and then forward again, another great convivial area. And there's a couple of things you can do here. You can drop that table down to make that into sunbathing, but also this one here is height adjustable. Of course, it's all push of a button stuff, but that then raises up. You can take that backrest cushion off and it comes up level with the sunbed to give you sunbathing that's a longer length. And then right up to the very front, you can see the bimini poles that detach from here. And we've got the capstan up on the front and the massive anchor then sticking out through the bow. There's so many angles from which this boat looks good, and one of them is definitely from here. Look at that. That is a piece of art. That's the access down to the crew cabin. So as I say, if you want access from outside directly to it, it can be done. And then if we come back down this side, again, look at the curves on this glass. It's just fantastic. The whole thing is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm so pleased to bring this one to you. It's just great. Let's come right on back down this side. Now you can see the back end of the tender sticking out here, and that'll make more sense when we go into the tender garage, which is where I will take you in just a minute. Look at these Zeelander badges on the side, again with this lovely painted wood effect finish on there. It's a gorgeous piece of kit, and again the curves in this stainless, it's just superb. We've got the side door open here so you can see that hinge in action and the steps that then go down, so it's great for getting on and off from a quay, and we've got stern docking winches and that kind of thing, and we can walk right round the outside of this seating area. We don't need to go through it, and this will bring us round. Controls down there for the passerelle, and access then to the tender garage and to the engine space is down here. Let's go and have a look. So we have the tender partially launched so that you can see how it works. It basically runs along these rollers here and out. Now that one is a Williams 435, so this will sort of normally take a 4-meter tender, but in fact you can get a 435 in here if you deflate the bow section, which obviously gives you a little bit shorter boat by doing so. But that is a substantial tender for a boat of this size, and the fact it has the side opening garage, I mean, that's very much a super yacht feature. Normally the back opens and it goes out over the bathing platform, but with this it doesn't disturb that aft section at all. It's fantastic. You can see the rams here that power up that hatch that we saw on the outside. So that's where your tender lives. Also down here you've got things like flight boards and other toys down here as well. We've got sea bobs down here. You might have seen those as we came in, tucked away against the bulkhead. So all that kind of stuff is here as well, water sports equipment and so on. But the other thing we have down here then is engine access, and that's round here. And just like everything else, this is worth seeing. Now again, there are options in here. This particular boat, they're all IPS and they're all quad engines. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these beasts down here. This particular boat is fitted with the IPS 1200s, which I think I'm right in saying are 900 horsepower each. However, they do an option of IPS 1350s, and they reckon that with those engines you're going to be knocking on 40 knots. 40 knots from an 80-foot boat like this is astonishing. With these engines you are up towards the mid-30s, which is plenty for a lot of people, but if you do want that really serious top-end performance, spec the IPS 1350s and you've got it. But the other interesting thing about this is I've got the figures for the IPS 1350s, and that's giving us, at 32 knots, 630 miles of range. That's about double what you'd expect, but even better, drop it back to 7 knots and do some gentle cruising at displacement speeds, 2,700 nautical miles of range. It's astonishing. And again, it points to the kind of boat this is. It's designed to really be used and to give you that capability, both in terms of speed and in terms of going places. But that is a great engine space. You can really get around and through to all of these. Let's come back here. Because of course what you don't have is a tender gouge on top of it, because that was in front of the engine space. So we can get back to the pods here, we can get to everything. But beyond that, you can see these rams here. You can power this entire floor section all the way around here and back down here. You see another ram here, right almost to the back of the engine room. All of that will lift. So if you're doing anything serious with the engines, you've got that access as well. But 90% of the time this will give you everything you need. But yeah, again, it is covering all the bases and ticking all the boxes. Talking of which, 2 Seakeeper gyro stabilizers, 2 generators down here as well. Again, in an 80-foot yacht, that is not what you'd normally expect to find. You're normally looking at sort of 90, 100-foot yachts before you start getting twin generators. And that's back to what I said right at the beginning. You're not buying this boat because you think it's good value. You're buying this boat because you think it's about the best you can get for this style of boat. And it is a no expense proposition, both to buy and in terms of the fit out. It is a fantastic piece of kit. I'm so enthusiastic. As I mentioned, we're at Monaco and we are filming some seriously big boats down here. This is actually the smallest boat that I'm filming at the show, and yet I think it's the one I'm the most enthusiastic about because it is simply so special. And I keep saying it because everyone's going to look at the price and go, well, yeah, but it's a lot of money, you can buy a bigger boat for that. Yes, absolutely you can. Just like you can buy a much bigger car than the Bugatti Veyron for a lot less money. But that's really not what this is about. This is about trying to be the best, and I think it's succeeding. Superb. Let's head on back out of here, because I think we've done it. And I kind of don't want to stop, because it's that sort of boat. It's the sort of boat you just want to stay on and just look and find more and more things. But I think for the purposes of what we tried to achieve, let's put that one back down, we will consider that a job well done. Fabulous. And just in case you're thinking, yeah, but what about that big grey one next door? Have you filmed that, Nick? Actually, yes, I have. That's a New Marine XP37. If it's not on the channel already, it's coming soon. Look out for that one. But this is a very, very special yacht indeed. I'm going to finish up here on the bow. I'm going to say massive thanks to the guys from Zeelander who have closed this boat off in the middle of the Monaco Yacht Show so that I can show it to you guys properly. And huge thanks to you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.